All right, Cam Inman joining us on 95.7 The Game. He's a 49ers insider. What's up, Cam? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
We're doing well. Let me just ask you this, and maybe the bar is very low as it pertains to drama and stuff, but do you feel like we have more drama right now in the Kyle Shanahan era than we've had at any other time?
When you say drama, I take it that you think that people are saying there's too much heat on Kyle Shanahan.
Well, just
criticism. Is that what you're saying?
Well, and Jimmy Ward, saying he's in a contract year, and a lot of people are also talking about the George Kittle. We have a standard, and we've got to meet it. A lot of people said he was trying to send a message to somebody. So that, and maybe a fan base that's wanting more out of Kyle. Yes.
I would say it's status quo, to be honest. It's I think they might be getting a little tense because as the losses pile up, you don't want to fall too far off the pace. But the NFC, for the most part, is not very competitive in their division, at least. So, as bad as they've played the last 2 weeks, if you beat the Rams and you improve to 3-0 in the division, then everybody's saying, great. This is they're the masters of their domain, and Kyle Shanahan dominates the Rams, which you need to do, and everything's happy again next week. But I hear the same outcry from everybody, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter, and everybody's saying, "Hey, he deserves to be called out and have criticism." He agrees. It's just the team is not clicking very well, and you can't blame it all on injuries anymore, especially offensively. They have all their parts for the most part. Excuse my language, but they haven't seemed in sync. And now you've added Christian McCaffrey, hoping that he can add that spark, but I just came off the practice field, and Deebo Samuel is not there for the second straight day.
Good to talk to you, Cam. Let me ask you this, because I got to put all my cards on the table. I've been hard on Eric Armstead from the beginning, and last year when they moved him inside, the run defense went from 24th to 1st. He's not there. I don't know when he's going to be there, but now all of a sudden I'm seeing teams like the Chiefs, the Falcons, they're having some success running against this defense. Any correlation there? And when should Niner fans expect him back, Cam?
Oh, I think there's definite correlation there. I mean, he's a big-time force on the inside on that defensive front, and he's a big guy. The guys who replaced him haven't played as well as they should, whether it's Hassan Ridgeway, Kevin Givens, Akeem Spence. They aren't holding the line as well as they should, and that's putting Fred Warner out of position. And I think it's a trickle-down effect throughout the defense. So, yes, you're right. I mean, the Falcons, they had a different brand. Like, they bullied the Niners, right? And then the Chiefs essentially out-schemed them and suckered them into coming in on a pass rush or something, and next thing you know, they're running a jet sweep right by them. So it was two different packs to exploit this run defense. The Rams don't run the ball. If they do, it's going to be Cooper Kupp on a fly sweep, which he didn't do when the Niners beat the Rams handily here last month. So the Rams are, creative offensively, but I mean, for the most part, I think this game is going to be more pressure on the defensive ends than it would be that interior run stuffing, as in the past couple games.
Cam Inman joining us on 95.7 The Game. Christian McCaffrey. So the last time he was healthy in 19, he led the league in touches. Assuming he's healthy, who's he taking 18 to 20 touches from?
I would say, well, if there's no Deebo, he's getting those.
Yes.
And he may be getting a couple of Jeff Wilson Jr.'s carries. I mean, Matt, this is how I guess we can talk the grand picture for the season, but I'd say specifically for this Rams game, it would not surprise me if McCaffrey gets targeted, say, 10 to 12 times in the receiving game and gets maybe 10 carries in the run game. I think it's going to be that much of a balance because he's such a great threat as a receiver. And then you're down receivers because Deebo's not playing. Well, maybe he is. He just hasn't been practicing. And Juwan Jennings, he hasn't practiced either this week because of a hamstring injury, although today he was working out on the side, so we at least saw him. But I think that's where McCaffrey's presence might be needed more is in the receiving game, and that, he's a short-range target, which is great where Jimmy Garoppolo, that's where he does his work, where you still have Jeff Wilson Jr. in the backfield, and and that where Jeff can pound up the tackles. McCaffrey did that pretty well too, but McCaffrey also, we can't wait to see his speed go to the outside, right, in this stretch zone scheme that they've succeeded with so far in the past few years. So, like you said, I would think he's going to eat into some of Debo's work, some of the running backs, but you got to get him the ball, Matt. I mean, he's an obvious playmaker. He's healthy. I think he knows the system enough where Shanahan's going to be comfortable getting him the touches needed to get this offense going.
Cam, there's so many things floating around out there in regard to stats and the Niners and Kyle Shanahan under him, 1-30, trailing by 3 or more in the fourth. What do you make of that? And also the scripted plays. What happens after the scripted plays? Like, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's perplexing. I mean, it's not just this season, though, right? This has gone back over the years where you go, what happens in the fourth quarter to their offense? They just kind of they get lulled to sleep and they don't attack the way that they were attacking before. I will say, the victory, the fourth quarter comeback they did make. Do you know where that was? Any idea?
Yeah, it was the Steelers.
New Orleans.
The Steelers.
Oh, well, go back last year when they were at SoFi Stadium. And they fell down by 7 in the fourth quarter, gentlemen, and they won that regular season game in overtime. But that was the biggest fourth quarter comeback I believe that they've accomplished, and it was against the Rams. So you got that going for you, right? So, but I mean, it's a terrible stat. I don't know how many coaches really have that success saying, "Oh, we can always." This offense isn't necessarily built that way, and it's something that they got to figure out. I mean. Whether it's a trust factor between Jimmy or Kyle, I just don't think I mean, Kyle had this with Matt Ryan, right? In that Super Bowl, Kyle trusted Matt Ryan and a little too much, right? And Matt Ryan got sacked, and that was part of the downfall. So it's football. There's so many parts that have to fit together, and I don't think Kyle cowers and gets into puckered up mode in the fourth quarter. It's just things don't go their way, whether it's penalties or field position. It's an amazing confluence of events.
Hey, Cam, thank you as always. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
Oh, gentlemen, have a great weekend. I look forward to our chat next Thursday, as always.
Absolutely. That's Cam Inman, Bay Area News Group.